Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to The Perfect Cast. My name is Brandon.
I'm Alicia.
And today's video, as you can clearly see from the title. Now last week we reacted to the Disney Plus trailer of Snow White. And we decided to have the painstaking task of watching the film. And now we're going to give our opinion, review, whatever you want to call it, about the movie. And I'll just say one thing and then we'll get started. I have watched Pinocchio, which was the worst live action thing I've ever seen Disney do. Was this worse than that? We're going to find out. So, overall, my feelings of the movie, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but that's not saying much. There were a lot of problems. We'll get into that. Overall, what were your opinions of the film?
It could have been worse. It definitely wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I mean, I think I went in just like, open mind. I don't like going into things like, oh, this is going to be just so bad. So, I went in open. It wasn't, bad. There were definitely aspects that worked. There were aspects that didn't work for me, in my opinion. But, yeah, we'll get into all of that.
So, a couple of notes here. Again, we'll kind of do a little bit of review. We're kind of just going off the cuff, I think, with this. Gal Gadot should never sing again. I mean, the song she had in the movie where it was up and, like, Gal Gadot singing is like, I feel like, what's the thing? Is it a heart monitor where the thing goes up and down, like the beep, beep, beep?
Yes.
That's what it felt like. It was going up and down. It just was up. It was all over the place, her singing. And the acting with her wasn't exactly great either. It just was all over the place. And the story, it's just a lot of confusion and stuff was going on. It just was a lot of stuff that just was bizarre to me.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, how do you want to do this? You want to, like, break down the movie from, like, beginning to end? Do you just want to break it down in, like, categories of like what worked for you, what didn't work for you? How do you want to?
That's probably better because I'm not gonna lie to you. I've kind of blocked most of the movie out of my head since we watched it. Okay. So I think like just breaking down some things I liked about it, didn't like about it, and kind of overall feel of it, and some moments that I was like, that's kind of the feel I'm going with because I've kind of blocked it out already.
Well, I have notes, so.
Okay, she's got notes. She's more prepared.
Okay, so. Let's start with, I guess, overall story, like compared to the original animated film Snow White. Comparing it to that, how would you compare? How do you feel about them?
Well, just for those who don't know, the original movie, the animated version from 1940, whatever it was only 45 minutes. It's not exactly, it was not a full-length feature back then. It was a 45-minute movie. Now, the live action was an hour and 50, it's like roughly 2 hours. So, take that as you may, a movie that was 45 minutes and it got expanded by over an hour of runtime.
Yeah, movies were a little different back then. This was Snow White was like a huge part of Disney. It helped kind of catapult their animated studios to like a new level, very vital to the success of what we know Disney Studios as today. So for those times, it was a hit. So
yeah, but this wasn't clearly. It didn't do well box office wise. It was panned by critics. It was so bad, and she's happy about it. It was so bad that they're working on a Tangled live action movie, and because Snow White did so poorly, any live actions have been scrapped by Disney at this time. They're supposed to be working on Hercules. That's probably taking a break, and also they're supposed to be working on Hunchback of Notre Dame, I've heard. But that might be taking a break, so I think anything live action Disney is kind of on hold at the moment.
Yay! We are saved from them like completely destroying Tangled. Tangled is probably my all-time favorite Disney animated film, and they were going to ruin it. and we avoided it. So, silver linings to everything. Everything happens for a reason. This movie happened to save Tangled. So.
Also, just as a note, I'm wearing a Kansas Jayhawk shirt. She's wearing a Bianca Belair shirt. Kind of to show our fandom on these videos of what we're into. Certain things. Like, I'm into college football. She's into wrestling. I'm into wrestling as well. But just we're going to show our fandom from time to time on these videos. Kind of make us, know more about us. To see what our interests are.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Our shirts, because we have a lot of nerdy shirts and stuff.
We do. So basically, the movie started. Snow White. Her mother, she got ill, right? And she died, right? The mother got ill and she died. Spoiler alert.
In the yes, in this version, yes.
Yes, but what happened in the animation version?
You don't know anything about her parents.
Okay, so you don't know anything about her parents in the animation version, the original.
Yeah.
In this version, live action version, her mother got ill and she died, and her father was the king of the kingdom that she lived in. And you don't know anything about that in the original, so they kind of expanded on that.
No. Well, I mean, because they don't really need to do that in, the animated back then. I think in this movie, one thing that's good is they kind of, they try to flush out a little bit more, give a little more context, give a little more information. In the animated film, they don't really need to do all that. They just cut to it. We don't need to give all this extraness. You can't really get away with that today. So, yeah.
So then, her father, the king, goes to another area, tries to defend something, I think, I guess. And then we see Snow White take form into Rachel Zegler. Now, I will say this much. Rachel wasn't that bad. I mean, there was some kind of facial expressions that were kind of like, we've seen all the memes and it is what it was. But the worst thing about Rachel, honestly, was the wig they put her in. I get it. I honestly get it because that's how Snow White's hair was. But the wig just didn't work. It just looked off. It looked weird. And that's very shocking for Disney not to take care of something that's on somebody, like clothing or makeup or hair, to make it look authentic. And that just didn't, in our opinion. It was very weird just looking at her the entire film. And obviously it's Snow White. She's the star of the movie. So you're looking at her 80% of the time, and you see her her hair, and it just looked off. And it just kind of took me out of it. I was like, is that Snow White? Who's that supposed to be? So.
Yeah, I don't blame her at all, honestly, for her facial expressions and mannerisms. I won't blame anybody in the movie for any of the weird, things they were doing, because that's on the director. The director's that's the whole point of a director. You're supposed to say how a scene is supposed to look. You're supposed to be able to say, cut, what's going on with, this isn't working. So, if old boy was cool with it, that's the problem. It's unfortunate that Rachel kind of, had to take the fall for it. I mean, she was still making them, but again, I don't blame her for that, because at some point someone should have said, hey, this is not working out. But now they were let's. Also, I don't know, had you heard if there were any time constraints or budget issues? Were they on a rush to make this movie?
I don't think so. I don't think anything was rushed. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I heard.
Well, they trying hard to make money, and then they didn't. So that's awkward.
Yeah, that's not good. If you're hurrying up to make money, you don't make money. That's not a good thing, especially for a company that has more money than anybody, probably. So
they were acting like they were under a time crunch. So maybe there's some tea there.
Tea. So then, everyone's favorite queen shows up, Gal Gadot, and does she marry the king? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, so then the queen, basically stereotypical princess story. The queen, Gal Gadot, is the stepmother of Snow White, and then she makes her clean, kind of that's what was Cinderella. Snow White is the same thing. She made her clean the house and was the queen and ruled over the kingdom. And then kind of once the king left, Gal Gadot was kind of in charge, and she kind of turned things the way she wanted to, which was not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah, I think those are the early, that's kind of the establishing part of, what happened in the movie. Oh, here's a fun little thing. So in the original, one of the things they changed was, in the original movie, Snow White got her name because, actually, not in the movie, Snow White originally is a Grimm Brothers tale. So if you know Grimm Brothers, they have like they're the German, like the creepy kind of versions almost of like the fairy tales before Disney got their hands and like made them real cute. So in that version, they talk about how Snow White got her name, and it's because of like her skin was as pale as snow. So of course, I don't know, that's gonna kind of sound in the 20 of 25. So they changed it when she was like born in like a snowstorm or something. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Just like those little like small changes. They probably could have just left it out. Like we didn't really know that, but you know, sure.
But where does the lore fall in for Snow White and the 7 clever boys? I'll throw up a graphic. For if you didn't know, Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys was a PS2 game, and it was very striking to say the least.
I don't like the name of that. It sounds...
Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys.
I don't like the idea. I don't know. This sounds a little inappropriate.
It looked like it. Anyway, let's get back on track here.
It sounds a little R-rated.
Let's get back on track. I will say this much. Like I mentioned previously in the video, that Gal Gadot should never sing again. Rachel Zegler is the opposite of that. I thought the song she sang was actually pretty good. I'll get into some of the songs, but the song the first song I remember hearing that I remember the name of it, but I remember there's a part she was waiting on a wish. I don't remember what that was the name of the song.
Oh, yeah.
But that was very nicely put together. I think it showed Rachel's vocal range, showcasing her her ability to sing. I thought that was a good song to like establish the character. Again, I don't remember if that was the first song I heard. That was the first song I remember hearing. Was that one?
Yeah, I think that was the first song I heard from it, and I was like, oh, okay. I think I liked most of the songs in it. I think the only songs I didn't like were the ones that Gal sang. I think I enjoyed the rest of the songs. I wasn't even mad at like the Hi Ho. I wasn't mad at that. I was like, fine, sure. It was just like updated, but it was still kind of having like, oh, yay, Disney. I wasn't mad at it.
I think I'm losing like the story at this point. I think after that, well,
you're losing the plot.
Losing the plot a little bit, but losing the plot.
As the kids say.
But trying to think what happened after Snow White. Like, well, so you know, the story of the queen is like, you know, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And the mirror would always say it's the queen, the queen, queen. And then eventually the mirror was like, it's basically Snow White that's fairest of them all, and then the queen couldn't accept that, so she sent her huntsman to kill Snow White, to take her to the forest and kill her. And he couldn't do it because Snow White was so pure, she was so nice, she was such a nice person. The huntsman let her go into the forest, and she ran off and got away, and the huntsman went back to the queen's castle, and that's when she sang her first song, and that was bizarre and just like all over the place. It like, you know, I think I've seen a video of this, and it's so like appropriate, and it matches up so perfectly. When Gal Gadot sings or talks in a movie, it reminds me of the acting of Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Oh my god. And it's not even just in this. It's like, there's so many movies with her in it where it's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, why is she in this? I can't think of too many things where I'm like, oh, she really killed it. What's the one with the Nile?
Yeah, that's what it's funny, I was literally going to mention that, because like there's a TikTok compilation of all her, like the things she does, and people compared her to Tommy Wiseau from The Room. She's like, enough champagne to fill the Nile. Khalil, no.
God, The Room is not a good movie.
It is. So, hey y'all out there.
Oh my god.
Hey y'all out there. If you've seen The Room, you know what I'm talking about. The Room is considered the greatest, worst movie of all time. We should review it on this channel. If you agree, leave a comment down below. You want us to review The Room, we will review The Room for you, because I've watched it many times. She's watched it once, and she's ready to watch it again.
I'm not. I actually would sit here and we can review it, because I can point out the ridiculousness of that film.
It's a cult classic. Anyway, back on track here. So then, the part of the movie where I think our most infamous reaction to the movie trailer was when we saw the woodland creatures.
Oh yeah.
Those looked really bad. Again, CG is getting to a point where it's like it looks too like computer, because like it just looked weird. Like the creatures just looked off.
I think that was probably my second like criticism of the movie. My things I did not like about the movie were Gal Gadot and too much CGI. The movie, not even just the animals, but like there were so many things that just looked, I was just like, it looked so fake and just like I was like, I don't like this. Like my eyes kind of hurt. It's too much happening. I just did not like it. Like there were parts when they would show like that like environment around her, and I was just like, I just don't like it. I was like, this looks disturbing. I don't like it.
Yeah, just make it more like real looking, not like computer looking.
Yeah, it's like, why did the forest look fake? I don't understand. Like, there's forest galore. I mean, like, yeah, like the environment is dying all around us, but like, there's still a forest you can go film in. I don't understand.
So then after that, when we got introduced to the seven dwarves, now
you're skipping a lot of stuff. Like, you skipped the whole prince.
I did that for a reason.
Okay.
The prince.
The prince.
Oh, that's right. Earlier in the film.
Because we meet him.
Right.
So that was interesting that they changed that he's not a prince in this movie, which makes sense. So like in the original like animated film, I think they just meet because she's singing a song and he's like, ooh, she's singing a song, and then he remembers her off of that. And then like I don't think we see him really again until later on. But there's really nothing much. I mean, there's nothing really much to anybody in the original. Like, they don't flesh out characters. Like, there's nothing really to her. There's nothing really to him. It's just a story, fairy book, love. Yay. So that was interesting that they changed it where he's more like on his Flynn Rider, Robin Hood kind of stuff. Yeah.
See, it's good that she kept back on track because I don't remember that at all. I mean, I do remember that, just kind of skipped over it because,
Yeah, we meet him because he's trying to like steal bread and stuff and gets barely locked to the like gate of the castle. I was just like, bro, move your hands a little bit. Like she just walked up and untied him.
She's untying the shoelace.
And I was like, anybody honestly could have just walked up. Like some like 7-year-old would have been like, oh son, you need some help, and like untied his hands. It was weird. But I let it go. It wasn't that deep to me. I was like, sure, Jan.
Is there anything else I'm missing before I get to the dwarves? Of significance?
No.
Okay.
Those are most significant things.
So then we get to the seven dwarves in the mines. They're, mining. I didn't like the song.
You didn't?
No, because like it was too modernized for me.
It wasn't that modernized.
Because like
well, that was different.
I like the original. They go hi ho, it's off to work we go.
They do that later.
Right, but not the original.
Oh my gosh, they do it later.
I don't like how. I mean, I will say this much. I did like when they're on the minecart and they're calling each dwarf by name, like that's me or that's you or whatever. I did like that to get the character established. I think because all the dwarves did look. You couldn't really tell.
Oh yeah, I didn't really like how
who was who.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell. You could tell who Doc was because of the glasses. And I think the best dwarf looking wise, if that makes sense, was Grumpy because he had a distinct face. Everyone else kind of you couldn't tell it until they said something. Like you couldn't tell the difference between Happy and Bashful. They look kind of the same to me. I mean, Dopey looked different. But other than that, you couldn't tell the difference between these people. So
these people, yeah,
they're people.
Yeah, I didn't really like how they looked, and I mean, there's all controversy about them, and yeah, I didn't really like how they looked, and I didn't like Dopey. Dopey was kind of whatever.
Let her try.
Stupid. Stupid. That was dumb.
I thought Dopey couldn't talk. Anyway.
That was dumb.
So after the dwarves get back to their hut, they see Snow White sleeping in their bed and they freak out because.
Why is she getting the?
This is Goldilocks and Three Bears.
I was like, how she just busting into their house and just sleeping on their bed?
Well, the woodland creatures better remember.
They're invasive as well. Someone needs to go full Karen on all of them.
And then
Get out of my house.
And then we get the song that I like the most because it felt like, oh, this feels like Disney to me. Was Whistle While You Work. That felt like Disney to me. The way it was structured, it just felt like a Disney song. So that song I really enjoyed. That was like probably my highlight of the film. That song. That song was very well done. That felt to me like that was a Disney song.
Yeah, that was fun. And I like how they changed it because in the animated film, she's doing everything for them. I mean, she needs to earn her keep, so honestly, go for it. But she was like cleaning for them. She did everything for them. And she's basically like just telling them that she whistles while she works. And this one, she's like, you're grown. Here is a broom. Here's a mop. Here's some soap. I'll sing a little number with you, but you got it. I like that she made them do their own stuff because, you know, she did. And I mean, I like people are funny. People always want to be like, oh my God, things are so woke. Blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, we know you hate women, you hate minorities, and blah, blah, blah. Get over it. Ain't nobody going nowhere. So just don't stress yourself out about it. And so I'm sure some people are like, they made too many changes for no reason. But that's a realistic change. Like, she had no business to be doing all this stuff for them. Y'all can clean. Like, being ridiculous. Aren't they like magical too?
Yeah, they're magical.
What a bunch of losers.
They are magical. But they're also, you know, they're vertically challenged.
Anyway, that I have no comment.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this wouldn't have stood in Harry Potter, but whatever.
So then I'm losing after that, honestly. Well, I think they, after that point, like, the Queen sends her troops after Snow White to capture her, or whatever, to capture her back, because she's still not the fairest of them all. Very vain of the Queen, you know, not to be the fairest. She wants to get Snow White, so she sends, like, her men to the woods to capture Snow White.
Yes, and we run back into wannabe Flynn Rider. I'm saying, I really don't remember his name.
Jonathan?
Jonathan Ryder.
Robin Jones? Hood?
Jonathan Hood Flynn. Whoever his name is. It might have been Jonathan, I don't know.
Sure. Call him Jay for short.
Jay. I think we run back into him again. Him and all his friends. His ruffians, as they would say.
His merry men. His merry men.
Merry men.
Oh, merry men!
Yeah. We run to all of them again. And like they're like, we don't like you, but now we're helping you again. Or something like that.
Something like that. Might be skipping something. Probably. But it's probably for your own good at this point. A battle ensues. And one of the huntsmen of the Queen's army shoots an arrow at Snow White, and Jay, or it was Jonathan, whatever his name is, Flynn Rider, wanted Robin Hood. He takes the arrow for her, and it hits him right in the back, and he's in dire straits. He's very hurt, and he's losing his life, basically. And like, they're like, is there a doctor? And Doc's not a doctor, it's just his name, but he's like, I'll try. So he tries to help. So he's like laying on a piece of wood, a log, or whatever, and they're trying to help him. And it's bad. It's a dire situation. This guy that has become their friend is losing his life, and he tried to save Snow White, and he's really trying to, like, they're trying to save him, and it's very sad in the movie for the characters. So then they go into the hut. They're there for a while, and Doc comes out, and like he's talking very somber, like he lost him, and then he comes out and he's fine, like he's fine. Then literally, so this guy almost died. He almost died. Literally, the next scene is a party. And I'm like, where did the lights come from? How did this happen? What happened?
Funny. They were like, the transition was hilarious. Now he was just like, not dead. Time to dance. I was like, what was that? That was
very
so
odd
funny.
transition.
It's hilarious. At that point, I was really just like, let's just get this over with.
At that point,
let's just enjoy it for what it is. So at some point you have to just say, let's just enjoy this for what it is. Let's laugh about it and
move on.
You know, that was funny.
Might be skipping some things here, but then I think so then the whole point I think when Jonathan showed, they're gonna go I guess she's not convinced that her father is dead.
Oh yeah.
So they're gonna go find her father in the kingdom he went to in the beginning of the film.
Yes.
And she stays there, and then
oh my gosh, they had a love song. They had a little love song, and that was when I think after they sang the love song is when the army people come back again.
Okay.
Army people, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They sang their love song, and then everyone's like watching them, like, oh my god. And then they get interrupted by the Queen's men. And then, I think that's when they like separate.
Yeah, he goes to like the kingdom to find the king,
Yeah.
and she stays in the hut, and the dwarves have to go to work. I guess, right? That's what happened. They went to the mines.
What? I don't think he was going to the kingdom to find the king. I think that he was going. He went back to the main kingdom, like the castle.
No, because he got captured by the queen, so I think he was going to find the king.
Oh yeah, because she gave him her necklace,
right?
And that's how then the queen knew that he had been with Snow White, because he had her necklace, which was kind of dumb. Like, why would you wear that, bro? Right then.
So then, so after Robin Hood, Jonathan, whatever his name was, goes on his own way, we see the queen make some kind of chemistry experiment, and then she turns into an old lady and makes the apple, the infamous poison apple.
Yes, which was interesting, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. The queen had, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the same things as the original too. Just like, girl, you didn't seem too concerned to find out that she was still alive. You knew you would send someone out to kill her, and then she's not dead, and you're just like, okay. I mean, I guess that's why she was like, oh, okay. She hit the Thanos and was like, I'll do it myself. Someone should have taught, Snow White to not take stuff from strangers, but yeah, so Jonathan got locked up, won't let him out with the huntsman.
Did I frighten you, my child?
Oh my gosh.
Gal Gadot still was the old lady. Sound like Gal Gadot. So like she said, this old lady who Snow White's never seen in her life offers her like an apple to eat. And I'm like, I don't know what that's been.
I know, she just took it. I was just like, okay, because she was like, your dad was such like a good king, blah, blah, blah. And then she ate it. I was like, oi, this is why we need education. This is why education is important.
So she eats the apple, and then she passes out, falls asleep, and then of course, old like princess lore, she won't be waking up until True Love's kiss wakes her up, or something like that. So
yeah.
After that, I forget everything.
Oh my god.
After that, I'm lost.
This is just like people always are like, oh my god, these people, these reviewers, they don't know anything. They didn't pay attention. It's not. I'd say sometimes too. I'd be like, these people. I guess like it's not anyone's fault that they don't pay attention to anything, and then here we are.
Well, to be fair, the reason I don't remember a lot from the movie is because it was forgettable for me. Like I remember certain parts that interested me, but for the most part, the main part of the story was forgettable, and that's why I don't really remember much. I remember the songs, I remember the dwarves, I remember certain aspects of the film, but for the most part, like the main story after the poison apple thing, I don't really remember anything after. I know the ending, I know what happens at the end, but I don't remember anything how we got there, because the movie was forgettable for me.
So you're going to go into the movie and make fun of it, but then not like fully be able to judge it because you don't remember anything?
No, like I saw enough from trailers and hearsay to like, this looks bad. And I took it for what it was, and I watched it. But as I watched it, I'm like, the story didn't really resonate with me. Some of it was just forgettable to me.
Well, I took notes and I remember it. So, well, kind of. There's some stuff. I remember more than you.
Well, it's different. I'm older.
Oh, okay. Anyway, So I tried to at least pay attention to a good chunk of it so that I could appropriately judge it as a full product.
What's a chunk? 5 minutes?
Anyway, like I said, I remember more of it because that's how you judge something. Don't judge a book by its cover.
She reads a lot of books.
I love books.
Could show you the shelf here, but the camera's over here.
So let's see. So
after she ate the apple, then I'm
yeah,
lost.
So she ate the apple. She went to the eternal sleep where you need like true love's kiss to wake you up.
Shrek did it better.
Shrek did do it better. Shrek is iconic. Let's see. Yeah, Jonathan is back at the castle. He's basically arrested, and he's there with the other huntsman. And so they're realizing they need to like work together to get out. Because at first the huntsman is like, "We're not getting out of here. You might as well just give up. We're dying here." And Jonathan's like, "Nah, I'm trying to get that." So he was like, "I gotta break these chains." the things people do for some of the good. So he was like, "I gotta get out of here. I don't know about you, but I gotta get out of here." And so they work together to bust out of there, and they do it. By the time that he gets, because so like when, and I think this happens to like the original too. So when the queen gets to Snow White, like the animals, they know this is wrong. They're like, "Yikes on the bike! Like this is not good," and but they have no way to tell Snow White. Like they're animals, they can't talk. So they all like leave the house and leave the area to go warn the dwarves. And so the dwarves are like, "Oh my God, something's happening. Something isn't right." So they are all like racing to get back to Snow White. But by the time they get there, she's already in the eternal sleep. And they move her to like her little like classic log that she's in, like collecting the little poles with the flowers or whatever. So by the time Jonathan Ryder gets to her, she's already knocked out asleep. Apparently though, I didn't see this part. I was taking my notes and I wasn't like looking, but I guess he kissed her because she woke up in like 2 seconds. I was like, "Oh, okay."
That sleep was kind of like a quick cat, like a cat nap.
It was super quick. Oh, that's so funny. That was this big part of the movie because I think in the original she's supposed to be asleep for like the prince doesn't find her until like the next spring. Like it's been a minute before he finds her, and he's so sad because he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the voice. This is the girl I saw who was singing," or blah blah blah. And so he's so sad that he doesn't use consent and he kisses her, which wakes her up because true love from hearing a song. Hey. Taking over the 99s and 2000s, we'll do it to you. So, so back to this one. She wakes up. And they're like, "What are we gonna do?" It's like the original ends there. Like that's pretty much it. Like there's nothing else to it, I think, because in the original one, the dwarves like scare they like chase the witch off a cliff. Like
graphic.
So she's dead and gone. Yay. Like into the movie. So like before she wakes up, all that kind of stuff, she's gone. She's dead. And so that doesn't happen. They don't end it like that in this one, which probably would have been, I guess, cheap for all of this.
It would have been better if they did.
Like bye now. So they have to add all this extra stuff. So they're like, "What are we gonna do? We gotta take back the kingdom. We're gonna fight. This is our place. We the ones." And Jonathan Ryder, all his friends are there too. So we're all gonna now go together forever. And they go to the kingdom. Do you remember anything else from this?
I know they go.
Keep going.
No, I know they go to the kingdom, and then I think like isn't the queen in the room with the mirror again? They find her in the room with the mirror.
That's at the end again.
Okay, then I'm still lost.
So Snow White.
See how forgettable it was for me?
Goes back to the kingdom. You were just like, good night.
Hey, I could review Whiplash from beginning to end.
Oh my god.
So it tells you a lot.
So Snow White goes back to the kingdom. She pulls up, and all her people were like, "Oh my god!" I guess they remember her because like one little girl starts singing. Like she puts like the flower crown on her head, and she starts singing like the song they remember, like "Ooh, power us." Yeah, we remember when things were happy and bright and colorful because like the queen has kind of just made this land destitute, basically, where people are struggling and sad looking. So that happens, like the whole town is now marching with Snow White and they're like humming the song and we're like, we in here. And so Snow White's like, you know, I'm here to fight for my people, here to take back what's mine. And the queen basically, you know, shows up and she's like, okay, take it, do it. If you feeling froggy, leap. And Snow White, like basically I think she wants like Snow White to kind of like try to kill her. Or like you don't have what it takes basically to be a leader. Like to be a leader, you need to be ruthless, you need to be cutthroat, you need to be a killer, and you don't have those qualities because you're so pure, you're so sweet, you're so nice. Look at you caring about these people. Like you just can't do that. So she's like, so if you can do it, like go ahead and go for it, kill me. And Snow White's like, I'm not doing it. So she's like, all right, bet. Y'all got it. Y'all kill her because that's what we're supposed to do. And all of a sudden she starts, you know, talking to the different guards and stuff and was like, I know each of you. And they all have these family members in the crowd who are watching. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me that your like poor wife and like your poor dad are back here with like no money, no food, like living like with like the barest of the means, and you're like just doing whatever this queen says for the reasons of why, the reasons of K, because what's the check looking like? I'm really confused right now at this point, but whatever. So they all refuse to do anything after she says all their names and starts calling them out, and they're like, I'm not gonna do it. Even like her head guard man is like, not me, sis. And he like, it's beyond me. And so the queen's like, all right, all y'all are punks, whatever. And she like, I get like runs back into the castle, and is like, that's when she goes back into the castle and starts yelling at the mirror and stuff. Oh no, because then one of the ruffians, he gets her with a crossbow.
Yeah,
like
on the tower.
Yeah, he's on the cross. He has the crossbow.
He's the crossbow guy.
Yep, and he like, does he hit her?
Yeah, he hits the queen.
And then all the drawers are back there. I don't know how she got around them. So that was another thing that confused me. Because all the drawers are there, like kind of blocking where she came in. Like through the gate. Like they're blocking the entrance into the castle. And she got into the castle. I don't know how she got into the castle around everybody. Is there a side door we don't know about? Magic. I'm just going to say magic. So she got into the castle and she's yelling at the mirror. And she was like, what's happening? And he was like, you're not fair. It's never gonna happen for you. Stop trying to make fair happen for yourself. And she smashes the mirror. But when she smashes the mirror, like the mirror says something about she's now going to live in here eternally or something. Or maybe I'm just adding that in myself.
No, you're not, because I remember she got sucked into the mirror. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so she got sucked into the mirror, and now she's in the mirror. And I was like, ooh, I remember we had watched Wish. And if you haven't seen Wish basically like did all like these little like pulled different parts of like different like Disney stories, and one of the things was that the main villain, spoilers for Wish, you know, you got like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds to turn it off, but he gets sucked into the mirror and he becomes like the mirror, and so we're supposed to believe, you know, that the lore is that he's now the mirror person. So I was like, ooh, is this what happened with her? Like, are y'all pulling from Wish? Probably not. Is this like canon? So now she's in the mirror. I don't know if she's now like the new person in the mirror. She just got sucked in there because she's a bad guy. But whatever. So she's in the mirror. Everybody's safe now. Fast forward. And I think we're supposed to assume that it's like Jonathan Flynn, Robin Hood's wedding to Snow White. And everybody's, you know, wearing white and dancing and singing. And
I assume Snow White's the queen at this point.
Yeah.
She's in charge.
Yeah. Oh, we find out also this is also something that happened when she confronts the queen. That her dad is dead. I don't know why she didn't realize that, but there hasn't been too many moments inside the film that made me think that Snow White was like the most intelligent of the bunch. So, her dad is dead. The queen went ahead and told her. We don't really know exactly how or why it happened or anything else. I would assume that the queen did something to him. But yeah, so he's not, there's no point in looking for him. He's gone. But yeah, so she's in charge now. And all the dwarves are here and everybody's here. We didn't talk about that. How Dobby started talking. That was stupid.
Yeah, I thought Dobby wasn't supposed to talk.
Yeah. I think that it was supposed to be like that Snow White gave him the power to speak back when it was time for everybody to separate. Everyone was trying to go their separate ways because the dwarves were like, we gotta go to work. We gotta get this money. And she was like, go, I'll stay here because I got stuff to do too. And as everyone was separating, I think or was it before when they had to go back to the ship?
She was telling him how to whistle. And then he started whistling.
No, that's not this when he started talking. Oh. The whistling, But back when he started talking, I think it was either that part when I went to separate ways before she got put into sleep, or it was after she woke up. I think it was before she got put into sleep. Because before she went to the sleep, her and Jonathan Flynn had already decided, like, we're gonna find my dad. We're gonna take back this kingdom. And so I think it was at that part before the dwarves went to work that Dopey was basically like, whatever he said. What'd he say? Like, let him try.
Oh yeah, the thing where everyone was mad about Dopey talking about the end of the movie. He's like, let her try. I'm like,
yes.
What?
So Dopey talked, didn't like that, unnecessary, that was silly. But it was supposed to be like that Snow White, because throughout the movie he had been saying that he was scared to talk. I guess he didn't feel like he was gonna be listened to because they showed the rest of the dwarves were very like bullyish to him. I don't know why they were all together. Maybe they're all brothers or something. I don't remember. So they were mean to him, and so he was afraid to talk. And so she gave him the power of, like, he believed in himself and was able to say that one sentence. And at the end, he was also like reading the story. We got like 3 lines out of Dopey. Unnecessary. We didn't need him to talk, but that's cute. And then it wrapped up.
That's about it.
Yeah. I didn't like the end dancing because again it looked weird. I just didn't like when they showed too much of the atmosphere because it was too much CGI for me. I was like, I just don't like too much movement. When they weren't moving and Gal wasn't singing, the movie wasn't that bad. Everyone just be still and Gal you go to catering.
So while we're all feeling for the film,
how many apples do you give it?
I give it 5.5 apples out of 10.
Oh, out of 10? I was just gonna be like 5 apples.
5.5 apples out of 10.
5.5 apples out of 10. I give it. Oh, it's not bad. It's like in the middle.
Oh, certainly both apples.
Baby, just me in the middle. I would give it. Yeah, I'd probably give it like 6 apples.
6 apples.
That's funny that you gave it like 5.5 and you don't even remember any of the apples. So really. I would think you would give more like a 3 apples.
No, that's Pinocchio's 3 apples. Three Geppettos dancing.
3 Geppettos dancing.
God, Pinocchio was atrocious. So is this the worst live action movie Disney's made? No, but it's a wake up call that they need to start taking care of their properties more and respecting it. Have they made a live action movie that's really justified of any animation? Not really. I mean, personally, I liked Aladdin. I thought it was good for what it was. The music was great. I mean, you can't really compare the genie to Ron. Well, you can't do that. If you do that, you're gonna go in disappointed. But I liked Aladdin for what it was. Lion King had its issues, of course. Singing with the look of Lion King was bad. They just need to take more care of these live action properties. Do we need to be making live action at all? Let us know in the comments. Do you like these live action movies? Do you like to see them do something else? I mean, no matter what our opinions are about these live action movies, they're going to keep making them. That's what they're going to. That's what they're going to do. But
it's all the monies. That's why they're making. That's why we're on Toy Story 16. It's all about money. And if they feel like they can continue, I don't know why they feel they can continue to make money off of the live actions. I mean, maybe it's one of those things. I never pay attention to the numbers. Maybe people are so busy talking about them and like so busy being ready to say this is going to be trash, and then everyone goes to go see it, so they make the money. So here's the thing. People, if you don't think something's going to be good, don't go see it. Like, that's always been my stance. Don't support things that you don't believe in, because all that speaks in this world is cash dollars. So even if you don't like a person, place, thing, whatever, if it's making money, it's going to happen. It's like, that's why we're stuck with Jax Taylor on our TV screens, because the people were tuning in to watch him. So as long as you're tuning in to see something, as long as you're going to spend your money on something, it's going to continue. So I guess that's what's happening, is people continue to go see the live actions, and maybe we're all just, hoping that one eventually is going to be okay. I'll wait until other people tell me it is for me to decide to spend my money on it, just because historically tracking it doesn't work that way. I'm just happy the Tangled is not that's not whoop, whoop.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Don't say that. That's not happening.
Reality TV is a whole other subject for another day. She mentioned Jax Taylor. It's a whole other subject for another day. Yeah, I think, should this been made? Probably not. Did it need to be made? No. Would we be so distraught if, oh no, we didn't make live action Snow White? Probably not. But like I said, they're going to continue to make them, and I think the next one you're probably going to see is Hercules. But to be fair, same director that directed Aladdin, what was his name? The guy that dated Madonna, Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie is directing Hercules. So that's somewhat of a positive thing, because I thought Aladdin was done very well in certain aspects, and Aladdin did make a lot of money too. So
I love Hercules, the animated movie. I just don't want it. I don't know. I don't trust them to do live actions. I don't know who asked for them. Who asked for a live action? I don't understand. They seem upset because no one asked for this. I would rather just turn on Disney Plus and watch
the original.
I know, but again, money. They want money. But how about, and this is a problem for all of Hollywood and movies in general, how about an original thought? Let's try that. Let's try something original. Let's dig in our heads and find an original something.
I'll leave it with this. What little I know about Hollywood, and it's very little.
Hollywood, where the streets are paved with gold.
Or cash. What little I know about Hollywood is that it seems like it's cheaper for them to rehash something that's already been done and tell it a different way than create a new property. That's sad, but that's true, unfortunately.
We don't want it.
Unfortunately.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just us. Some people might love these. Some people are like, oh my god, it's another live action. Yippee!
I'll tell you one thing right now, though. If I see the Hunchback of Notre Dame trailer and Josh Gadot's Quasimodo, take my money. I'll be happy with that.
I'm gonna need more than that. But
damn, Josh Gadot, that's crazy.
Hang on, I'm gonna need more than that. But yeah, I don't think there's been
I love Josh Gadot.
Any of the I can't think of any of the live actions that I've seen. So the next one that comes out actually will be Moana, because they're in the middle of filming Moana.
Okay.
Which is silly, because they're in the middle of still continuing the story of the animated movies for Moana. But let's take a pause in that to do the live action of the stupid. It's so dumb. Whatever. I don't think I've seen any of the live actions that I like. Even Beauty and the Beast, I didn't really like it. It was fine, but yeah, it's no.
No, you haven't. No.
It's just unnecessary. I can just turn on Beauty and the Beast and listen to good singing.
Ouch.
Nope, I'm not. No comment. Yeah. So I think that the only movie that's like a live action that has like that's about like a Disney princess that I can watch repeatedly is not even a Disney movie. It's a Cinderella story with the one and the only Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray. A classic film, and that's not even made by Disney. So they just took Cinderella. So maybe other people need to do Disney movies. Maybe that's
not gonna happen. Disney will have a lawsuit.
So maybe if other people do them, that'll help.
You got anything on this?
No.
Anything else on the docket?
No.
No.
Not about this.
Okay. Well, that just about wraps it up for our review of Snow White. Like I said, it was forgettable for me. When I watch it again, probably not. I listened to that song again. I listened to Whistle While You Work again. That was actually enjoyable. I listen to that again every now and then if I feel inclined to. But when I watch it again, no. Nothing for the movie really did anything for me. Didn't really add anything to the plot of Snow White at all. Like I said, it was just very forgettable.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to turn it off or something. Oh, I didn't have like a inclination to be like, this is so bad, I'm wasting my time. I could have been doing something else. I didn't feel like that. Like, I didn't have anything else to do anyway at that time. So I was like, sure. Well, it wasn't that long of a movie. No. It was longer than like the 45 minutes, but it wasn't a 3-hour Marvel film. So, whatever. I didn't feel like I need to turn it off either. So, we made it. Mama, we made it.
Alright, so that's going to do it for the video today. Appreciate anyone that's subscribed so far. A lot of stuff coming up soon. More reality TV talk, something I'm going to discuss with her off camera. That should be interesting. That's going to be coming same time this summer, possibly. I'll discuss with her off camera. That should be interesting. And yeah, like we'll talk about more reality stuff. You know, we're planning a wedding. We might talk about that here too. Wedding's coming up in about 4 months plus. It's coming up fast, and we'll totally discuss that at some time as well. Definitely leave a like. Let us know you're enjoying the content. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about these live action movies? Did you like Snow White? Did you even see it? If you didn't, you're one of the lucky ones.
Oh my gosh, it was not all of that. It's fine. Watch the movie. Judge it for yourself. Don't listen to us. Who are we? We're a bunch of brokies. So don't just.
Well, one of us here is a brokey. The other one is not.
So just.
I'm the brokey.
So just take it at just watch it and make your own opinion. You might have fun. Like I said, the music is cute. The music is really cute. No, do you?
Do you?
More importantly, I hope y'all been watching Love Island because it is juicy, oozy.
Well, we'll talk about Love Island at some point on here because it's every day and it's a commitment. But it's some kind of captivating television that I've been reeled in on. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. I'll leave you. I don't know if you're going to join anyway, but I'll leave you with this. Have a nice day, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.